Oh my goodness, Travis, you may have game on the field, but off the field, it's tragic. My reaction to Travis Hunter and his girlfriend, aka fiance, is coming up next.
T to the DP, got the world impressed. I was just playing the game, now I'm the coach. Dropping gems on the mic, lessons they quote. Modern dating's wild, but I'm cracking the code. From heartbreak to headlines, I'm running the show. Distinguished professor, name and lights. Game so strong, got him swiping right. TDP podcast, wisdom refined from the grind to the...
Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I am the Distinguished Professor, and this is the Distinguished Professor YouTube channel. I want to welcome you guys all here. As you can see, we're going to talk about Travis Hunter and his girlfriend situation. Everyone's talking about that. Travis, I got some advice for you. I want to also let you know we have an important guest. I will introduce her in a moment. But before we do get started, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you tap that notification bell so you're not targeted at any one of my next sessions. And as you know, before we get started, class is in session. So yeah, before I bring up our special guest, I want to look at this real quick because this to me is absolutely wild. Like, it's completely crazy here. Like, let's go through these videos real quick, and then I'll bring up my guest. I mean, she's tatted up, tatted up, tatted up. I'm just saying, this is ridiculous. Look at this. We're gonna go through the TikTok. Come on, man. I mean, this is what we do. This is what we're doing here. This is what we're doing here. Just go through a couple TikToks real quick. I mean, this is wild. This is what you want to marry, huh? I mean, they sitting there doing all that dancing, right? They do all that dancing, they smiling, they happy, they doing all that dancing. But this, I want to show you, this is what your girl looks like. This is what your girl looks like when you win an award. You want your girl to be your biggest cheerleader, right? You want your girl to be down for you. Now watch this. Watch this bullshit.
You see that, right?
Make her stand up.
Am I not delusional?
Come and tell you right now. If that was my girl, this is what we be going on right here.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
Let me go ahead and bring on one of my favorite panel. I've been on a panel with her before. She's absolutely wonderful. I love everything she does. She's absolutely great. She brings a quality and wonderful perspective to what we're doing here, to the content we're going to provide. So I want to bring up, without further ado, Miss Embrace the Grace.
Hey,
what's going on?
Nothing much. How you doing? Thank you for having me tonight. This my distinct honor to be here with you to talk about Mr. Travis Hunter.
Oh no, the pleasure is definitely all mine. I am graced with your presence. I'm glad to have you here. It's our first time getting to rock together solo, so I'm glad to have you.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. So, what make you want to talk about Mr. Travis Hunter? What's bothering you about this whole situation?
I thought I was the host. I thought I was supposed to be asking all the questions.
I'm sorry.
How we get started? Good gracious, can't take her nowhere. You can take a woman out of New York, but you can't take the New York out of the woman.
My bad.
Oh man, I have to edit that out. I'm kidding. No. I want to talk about Travis real quick. I got a couple videos I'll bring up, but he has this girlfriend who, well, first of all, before we even get started, Embrace, how are you doing? How is your holiday season treating you?
It's good. It's good. I've taken a hiatus, had to go underneath the radar because, things was going on and had to put things on ice, but I'm coming back better, stronger, wiser than ever. And it's good to be back. You starting with you. So I'm starting off with you, and again, thank you for having me. But I'm good. My son's coming home Tuesday from college, so we're getting ready for Christmas, and I'm good. I'm happy, working a lot. My Christmas bonus was nice, so I'm chilling.
Well, shoot, let me hold some real quick. I'm coming down where you had to get a couple dollars. I mess with you.
I know that's right.
I hear you. Well, I'm glad to have you. Did you get anything you're looking for Christmas? Is Santa gonna bring anything nice this year?
Well, I know my son has become a good gift giver, but I don't know what the others are going to give me yet, because everybody knows I like surprises. And if you know me well enough, you already know what I want and what I need, because I'll drop hints all through November on my birthday month. And then whatever couldn't get on my birthday, hopefully I can get it on the tail end for Christmas.
I hear that. Well, I mean, what you need is right here. I'm kidding. No, can't wrap all this up, but you definitely put a bow on it.
I know that's right.
No, but yeah, so I definitely want to talk about Travis. Travis Hunter's been in the news. He's a two-way player, star for Colorado, was the #1 player coming out of high school. #1 player in college this year. He just won the Heisman Trophy. But nothing wrong with him. The issue is his girlfriend. So the girlfriend he's dating, he's been dating her since he was in high school. She was in college, he was in high school. So that's probably the issue there. But he says he wants to marry her, but she doesn't seem like she wants him. She said multiple times that I wasn't attracted to him, and I'll play the clip real quick, but she said she wasn't attracted to him. And he's gung-ho on marrying this young lady. I'm like, this is a cautionary tale to all my friends out there, but and all my athletes. But so what do you think about that before we even show the clip?
Well, the funny thing is that I watched the show last night, and shout out to the real Stacey Prince, because he broke it down. And the thing is that a lot of us expect, because they're young, they're young. He's only 20, she's 23. Yeah. And we expect these young kids to act like grown adults. Remember when you were 20 and I was 23? We did a lot of dumb shit. So she kind of explained herself, and you probably have the video, so I don't want to, go too far about when she explained about he wasn't initially her type. But I don't want to say too much. Let's go ahead and play your video, and then we can dissect it, because I may tell it all before you even show the video.
True. I got a few. Let's see. Let me put this video up. Let me go back. It's a short. I try to get some short videos so we're not here all night.
I just didn't respond to him. He wasn't my type. So then I left him.
I wasn't her type.
I left him in my DMs for like 2 months, and then finally I answered him. But I didn't want to be nothing. I just wanted to just be friends. Like, we could be friends. And then after I finally answered him on Instagram, then we texted for like
a long time.
Like another 2 months. And then he was friend zone, because I didn't like. He was like, "Am I friend zone?" I was like, "Yes." I was not into him. And then finally, I had to go to a friend's birthday dinner, and I didn't want to go by myself. So he was like, "Oh, I'll go with you." And then he went with me, and then we was in love.
Yeah, we was in love ever since then. Like, we hung out the next weekend.
Yeah.
No, that was during a week.
We went to Top Golf. That was our first date, Top Golf.
Yeah,
and then
I was still in high school.
Yeah.
And I had school the next day.
Because we went on a Sunday, facts.
Nope.
So that's the first video. I got a couple more. What you have to say about that one? I know you was talking about Stacey Prince. What do you have to say about that one?
Initially, everybody took this and ran with it. Oh, he wasn't my type. And sometimes that happens when you initially meet somebody and they're not your type. That's okay. But everybody took it as, oh, he's not my type. As soon as she found out who he was, now all of a sudden that's her type. And I get it, where we can see that. But we also got to see the other side of the coin. There's sometimes you meet people initially and they aren't your type. But as you spend more time with them and you get to know them, they kind of grow on you. And that's okay too, because these two kids been together for 5 years. There's some marriages that don't last 5 years. So you see, I'm kind of going to bring the positive side of things because everybody wants to rip these kids apart. We're not really knowing the whole side of the story because she did come back and explain to herself why she said he wasn't he wasn't her type. And I don't know if you have that video too, and I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but she kind of
explained. I don't have that
explained.
video. I don't have it. I'll
Okay.
find it, but I don't have it right now.
So it's like she felt she had to explain herself because she was getting so much flack. Everybody was calling her a gold digger. What is it? And I'm going to bring it to the race thing because everybody loves to bring race into the situation. What is it different if he was dating a black woman? But the reason why she's getting so much flack is because she's non-black. That's what I think. Because what is it different from if she was dating a black woman or white woman? What does you know what I'm saying? What does it matter right away? Oh, she's a gold digger. They dug up people on who she used to date, and one was a NASCAR driver. One was she dates elite men. So what is it different from this young man? Right?
Yeah, I
Go
hear what
ahead.
you're saying.
Go ahead.
My issue would be, I don't care what color she is. If she was black, Latino, I mean, because she's her mom's black, her dad's Filipino.
A lot of people didn't know that.
Right. So I don't have a problem with the color of her skin. I have a problem with her saying he's friend zoned. I have a problem with her saying that I wasn't attracted to her. I mean, I wasn't attracted to him. He wasn't my type. And then all of a sudden, boom. And so I said on the panel the other day, I have a cousin that played pro basketball. He got with a girl who said basically the same thing, that she wasn't interested. She didn't like him. She didn't want to be with him. She ended up Googling him, and they end up getting married. And she dropped off. We'll have to get her back. They ended up getting married, and they got married. And after they got married, he ended up getting a gun charge because of her. So that's what I had to say about that. But give me 1 second. I want to pull something up. Let's see. What I had to say. I mean, I don't know what happened to Grace. She's dropping all the way off. She just can't get her life together over here. So it's all good. But this is what I really wanted to say.
Now I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke.
That's what I had to say about that situation. I ain't saying she a gold digger, but when Travis had crooked teeth, she wasn't messing with him. But anyway, that's what I had to say about that situation. I mean, I just don't agree with it. I don't agree with. First of all, I don't agree with it. If it was a guy of 23 years old and a girl, so let's see, she's 3 years older than him. If he was 17 and he was 20, how many women would have a problem with the man dating a woman that age? It's still in high school.
A lot of people will have a problem with that. Absolutely. But nowadays, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No, you might. Yes, go ahead.
But nowadays, a lot of people are. I mean, you got MILFs, you got cougars. You got people dating outside of their age range because they just don't connect with people their age. And again, I'm gonna debunk your thought process. The reason why she said that he wasn't her type initially was because he was dating somebody, and the girl was all on his Instagram. It was in his link. So she was like, I'm not gonna date a cheater. So that's why she initially friend zoned him, and she explained herself. So, and then he doesn't have any money to dig right now. So he can protect himself by getting a prenup, and he's surrounded around enough men. Deion Sanders already said it. I'm going to make sure you get a prenup, and it's going to be this thick. So he has the opportunity to protect himself. You know?
He does. I mean, he had NIL money, whatever that money looks like. I don't know what he's getting in Colorado. Name, image, and likeness money. So I don't know what that looks like. He has a couple of dollars. Women play the long game. I know this. Women play the long game. So she knew he's the number one player in high school. He's the number one. He's probably gonna be a pretty good player in college. I'm gonna hitch my train to his wagon and see where it goes. And it just happens to be he's gonna probably be a top 5 pick this year. So I mean, at the end of the day, she hitched her wagon to a good situation. She had an idea what was going on. I mean, she used to work in a gentleman's club, whether she was a bartender or talent. So she know what kind of man that looks like. And if he was dating, and if he was dating someone, why is she even entertaining him to begin with?
Why not? I mean, women want to hitch a good one for her future. Just like men want to marry somebody that is a wifey material. And I can't believe I'm on the side of a woman tonight, because if anybody knows my channel, I advocate for the men. But when you really break it down, I mean, they're so young right now. We haven't even given them the opportunity. We're already shooting bad karma over there. I mean, again, they've been together for 5 years. That's longer than some marriages nowadays. Yeah. And then she ain't bring this man no baby. Okay, she ain't got no baggage. And it's like, it's not like she's got her own thing going. She's working on her master's, so it's not like she's a scrub. So she's bringing things to the table, but everybody's gold digger. She explained herself that she didn't know how to act. That's why she didn't get up right away. This was his and his family's day. And she didn't want the limelight. I mean, she's 23 years old. She's at a Heisman Trophy award ceremony. Most of us wouldn't know how to act there either, who haven't been around celebrities, who haven't been around that kind of, when we expect certain people to know how to act right away. But we over here with our own 3 kids with 3 different baby daddies telling her how she should be acting and things like that. And that's what we have to like chill with that. Give them a chance, wish them well, and hope for the best. But we're like already setting them up like he's going to fail in this. They're going to fail in this relationship. They've done more in a relationship than most people have done. Would you not say that, sir?
I would say they have. I would say they've done a lot of things. If it was my son, I would have some other things to say to him. But fortunately and unfortunately, he's not. But I don't know. I don't know where I hear what you're saying, but it goes back to our vetting process. I think I've seen enough women like this, and I don't want them to end up like a lot of. Now let's hope it goes well. I don't want to call bad on anyone's situation with his fiance or marriage or wife. I'm sorry. I don't want to say it's going to be bad situation, but there's a lot of red flags there. And if it was a woman dating a man with these many if I was telling a woman who's dating a man that had as many red flags as this lady does, I would have some questions and say some similar things to her as well. If he was dating Taylor Swift and he was just me, I would say, come on, Tay. We got to understand something. Look at the situation. He didn't know who you was. He heard Cruel Summer, and all of a sudden, he wants to be on your jock. So that's why. Matter of fact, speaking of Taylor Swift, I do want to play this Bow Wow clip. See what these is. It's a 3-minute clip, real quick, and then we'll react to that, and then we'll move on. Let me see.
Okay.
All right, this is Bow Wow.
You gotta watch the signs, man. That woman said you weren't even her type. If a woman tell me she not my type, but end up with me, then what's keeping you here? Travy. Check this out, gang. It's coming from your boy Bow Weezy, right? I never met you, don't know you, know nothing. But I will say this, because I've been watching from afar. I'm not the type of jumping people business, but I was once young, about to make a lot of money, and I know how this shit go. So I need you to hear me out. Number one, I don't want you feeling as though everybody jumping down your back or cats is hating. That's that young mentality. I want you to look at this like I care about you. And especially in our community and in this industry, not a lot of brothers get the opportunity like you about to get. You know what I mean? You about to get the biggest check in your life. You about to go to the NFL. And all we are doing is waking you up, young brother. Because if you don't see what is going on, gang, if we didn't get up, we'll let you crash out. But from one player to the next, I don't tell you what to do, but I want you to open up your eyes, man. There's no reason why she commenting on another page, NBA with her eyes and the money tongue out. That's your fiance. Wake up, young brother. Fiancés don't move like that. I ain't never had one of my girls ever lay next to me in the same crib as me under another page, leaving heart eyes with the money tongue out. Total violation. That bitch would have been packing up her shit and get out my crib that day. I don't play that shit. You out. And it's like you so caught up in being in love with this, bro. I don't even think this woman really love you like that, bro. You gotta watch the signs, man. That woman said you wasn't even her type. If a woman tell me she not my type but end up with me, then what's keeping you here? What's keeping you here then? If I'm not your type, that means you going off looks. So what's keeping you here? You gotta ask, but you young though. But you gotta ask yourself some questions. We not coming down on you, brother. We trying to wake you up. You know what I'm saying? Before they end up. Last but not least, young brother, I want you to live your life, man. You young, man. I don't even think you're 24 yet. Do you know how much women are about to be thrown your way? Boy, you the Heisman Trophy Award winner. Can't no give you no advice better than me because I was young with the bag and I'm still here doing and navigating through this whole shit. And I'm telling you from firsthand experience, brother, it's about to be so many women about to throw that thing your way, you ain't gonna be able to turn it down. So all it's gonna do is just lead to frustration and all type of bullshit in your household anyway. Young brother, snatch that ring back, get focused on what's important. It's hard to build your shit when you got a broad with you. Bro, you in the media more for the broad than you is for the winning the Heisman. I don't like that. You know what I mean? So I don't give a look. Coach Prime got my number. You know how to hit me. I'm telling you, I ain't coming down on you. I ain't trying to hate on your situation. But my wake up.
All right, and the NBA player he's talking about is Anthony Edwards. She was on Instagram, and you know, with the money, with the heart eyes and money sign. It was Anthony Edwards. So that was about Weezy. He said a mouthful. What you got to say about that, Grace?
Look, I have a son, and I get what he's telling him, but at the same time, you're uplifting the fact that you're gonna get all this pussy thrown at you and all this women. Why not say stay on your purpose? Concentrate on your football game. This young man has a 4.0 GPA, so he ain't no dumb jock, okay? And his teachers came and spoke for him. He's not your typical jock or where they did the work for him. He's earned this 4.0. And isn't that the point, is to build with somebody? You want to build with somebody at ground zero so you can build each other up versus you're up here and now you got to pull somebody up with you. She's been there through the trenches with him. 5 years, people. Does that not count for anything? And again, and you probably didn't see the video because she did come out and explain to herself why she initially said he wasn't her type. He was dating somebody already. So that's why he was friend zoned. And then finally they talked, they hooked up. 2 months instant messaging before they even met. And then they met. And this is 5 years later now. She hasn't dug any gold yet because he's on his way. He really is on his way. But I just don't like the fact that he's emphasizing on all the pussy he's about to get when he should be emphasizing on working on his craft, emphasizing on finishing his degree. But look what he's emphasizing on. Pussy. That's what's going to get him in trouble. The STDs, the pregnancies. He's been with this chick for 5 years. He's familiar with her. Again, she not bringing no baby already to the table. He can only impregnate her if he chooses to impregnate her. He can have control of that. You see what I'm saying? A woman can only do to you. Well, I'm not just going to put it on the woman. I'm going to put it. A person can only do to you what you allow them to do to you. If you know you're not ready for no baby, then take the precautionary steps to not have a baby. Put her on birth control. Strap it up. But we can't put everything on her. Again, she's only 23 years old. He's only 20. Yes, he's green. He's got his nose wide open. But he's with Coach Deion Sanders. He's surrounded him. He comes from a 2-parent household. So it's not like he hasn't had the discipline and the structure and the lectures. So I'm cheering for them. I'm hoping that they work out and they prove everybody wrong because he has a lot of time to prepare and prevent things from happening from the typical athlete with money. And
Yeah,
and I get what you say about women do it for the long haul. I get it. But you can set up a prenup where if you leave me, you won't get this. And if you do this, you won't get that. He can make it to the point where she's gonna have to stick it out, which is kind of discerning, but that's the world that we live in. That's what we about. Transactional. Okay, you give me a baby, you give me a family, you be my wife, then you'll get this, then you'll get that. Do what you're supposed to do. And then again, nobody knew that she's half black too. So again, yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with race, but do you really think this conversation would have gotten as much flack as it getting now? And I appreciate Bow Wow for, dropping some gems on him. But you going in the mindset. All you keep bringing up was pussy, pussy, pussy. And you know what? No. Let's bring up your craft. Let's bring up your grades. Let's make sure you get a degree. So when you're done playing football, you have something to show for afterwards. It's all, and look, Professor, I lived this. I had a limousine company. I worked the Super Bowl, and I was able to, I got all the NFL prospects, Santana Moss, when he was a rookie, when they were signing him, and I had all the rookies that year, and I saw how they entice. And I took them to the Playboy parties, all the parties, because we were there the whole Super Bowl week.
Oh yeah.
And I see how they get enticed. Instead of doing that, why are you not teaching these young men to have dick discipline? Why are you not teaching these men financial stability and how to spend their money and how to have a portfolio? But no, you're throwing them at parties, liquor, girls. I mean, they're part of the problem too. Do you see what I'm saying? What was your take on it?
I mean, the women went throwing Diddy parties. I know that. So, but no, so I hear what you're saying. Like, so when it comes to building, I'm on the same page with you. I believe that a lot of times, especially in our community, we don't build with we don't find a woman and build, especially our women and our men. We don't build together. That's why we have an issue with when it comes to generational wealth and wealth in general and trying to pass down things. We get started so late in the game that we have a hard time building wealth. So I believe in finding your mate, especially in college, and going through that struggle together. I get it. So we're on that same page there. I just have issues with her character. I'm a little iffy with her. And again, I don't care what color she is, or race, creed, whatever it is. It just, for me, it's a character thing. I would say something if she was a black woman. I would say something if she was Hispanic. I would say something if she was Asian, Mexican, whatever, or Hispanic, Asian, whatever. I would say something. Ultimately, it's going to be his life. Bow Wow was thrown. All Bow Wow really knows, Bow Wow was thrown pussy. Bow Wow was thrown money. Bow Wow was thrown baby oil, allegedly. I'm kidding. I don't know. I wasn't at the party. But I'm saying, Bow Wow was a young kid in an adult world, and he probably seen a lot of things. And so I get where he's coming from, but we're on the same page when it comes to pussy. Has been here since day 2 or day 6, whenever God created it. Or maybe day 8. I don't know what it was. But if it was Diddy creating, it was day 26. But anyway, if she, it's just, I've seen it. I've been around a lot. Like you, I've been around a lot of athletes. There was Baron Davis. And I can share this story because it's nothing negative. Baron Davis, I knew when I was in high school. He was obviously a rookie or first year. The girl he was dating at the time, I don't know if he's married to her or not, but the girl he was dating at the time was a wonderful stand-up woman. If he married her, if he would have married her, I thought she was great. Whoever you're married to now, Baron, great. She's probably a great woman too. But the woman you dated your first couple years in the league in Charlotte, she was a wonderful woman. Conversely, there's another athlete, another teammate of his who was married to a stripper or ex-stripper. I'm sorry, and none of the wives liked her, none of the girlfriends liked her. She was always braggadocious. She didn't know how to act. She was rude. She was loud, and she didn't know how to conduct herself with the decorum that a wag, a wife and girlfriend, would conduct herself. And because of that, that athlete was looked on a certain way, and in that circle, your wife can sometimes be a detriment to you. If you look at Kurt Warner's wife, she used to say a lot of things. If you looked at what's my guy's name he played in Sacramento, he's a coach now, I forget his name, Doug Christie. People didn't like Doug Christie's wife because she was very voiceful and boisterous. They had a great relationship. They were married, they're still married to this day, but people just didn't like her. And when people don't like your wife, that can prevent you from getting contracts at the next level. Especially if your wife is boisterous or talking about the team or whatever it is, that could be an issue. Your wife is your reflection. And if you have a reflection that doesn't mirror what you're trying to present and trying to provide and put out there, it can prevent you from getting deals. It can prevent you from getting, I'm talking about sponsorship deals. It can prevent you from getting additional contracts moving forward. It really depends. So I don't know her personally. I don't know him personally. Never met Coach Prime. But if you look at the way Coach Prime raised his kids, you don't hear anything about Shador or Shiloh or Deion Jr. But we know Deion got with Pilar, who allegedly was crazy. So he didn't, even if you look at him walking out, that was a crazy situation when he walked the kids out for senior day. So at the end of the day, like, you got to understand who you're hitching your wagon to. I get being with someone young and growing together, but also understand that person is a direct reflection of you. And if that reflection is not what you want mirrored, then it can be a detriment to you. So that's what more of my issue comes up, because of how she purports herself. And, she's on Instagram with the emojis and the money sign. More people are talking about her than they're talking about him and him winning the Heisman. More people are talking about her not standing up while he's winning the Heisman. More people are talking about when he was did well against Oklahoma. She wouldn't even give him a kiss. She backed off of him. Those are things that you get looked upon. And those are things that can hurt you, especially when you get into locker rooms. And those guys will get on you. Those guys will make fun of you, and if they, and that can prevent you from doing well at the next level. So that's more the issue I had with her, not necessarily what color of skin she is or how young she is or anything like that. But I agree, you should get hitched with somebody a little bit, hit your wagon someone earlier rather than later, especially when you made all the money. You don't know if they're there for you being a gold digger. You don't know if they're there for your money or they're there for you.
And I agree with you, because your spouse is a representative of who you are, an extension of who you are. You're absolutely right. However, I'm going back to the fact that they're both young. Your boy Travis, he's green. He's got his nose wide open. But I think that he's going to be okay because he's got enough male influence circling around him that's going to get him right. And hopefully she gonna grow up and mature and get herself right. And if the so-called red flags continue, he knows what to do. Just don't make a baby. Because Bow Wow saying, oh, you know how much pussy's coming to you? Yeah, do you know how much headache is coming to you too? All the fake pregnancies, STDs, and everything he's gonna have to go through, and damage control. It's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. He's trying to do the right thing, but I just think Bow Wow should have came at a different angle to him. Don't praise on how much coochie gonna be thrown at you. Concentrate on the craft, getting your degree, and staying on your purpose. And I really feel that that's what Deion's gonna do for him. That's what Deion's gonna do for him.
I just hope he don't end up in LA. I hope the best for Travis, and I think his name.
I want the Jets to get him. I would love for the Jets to get him, but we're not gonna get him.
Why would you want him to be ruined? He has no quarterback to throw the ball to him. Listen. My uncle's nephew played for the Jets, so I have no issue with the Jets. You probably drove him around at one point. We'll talk about that off air, because I don't like bringing people's names up. Baron, I can bring up because it's a good story. But no, I'm just saying it's. Yeah, he needs to come on to Charlotte. Come on down to the Carolina Panthers. Nothing can be violent than Travis Hunter in Carolina. And we'll get you hit show with a good old Southern Belle. Bless your heart. Clutch your pearls.
So you already trying to hook them up with somebody different. You ain't even giving them a chance. Oh.
Nah, I got a few of them that I can send his way. Matter of fact, if you don't know, Grown Men Talking, which is a channel I'm on Sundays, we do a panel. We have a relationship. We have a dating show called Meet to Marry in Charlotte. Travis, we'd love to have you on that show, man. We'd love to have you on Meet to Marry. Come on, Travis. We will find you a good old Southern charm girl with good cornbread.
And again, people's types change as they evolve. You ever
Yeah,
thought
we do.
about that too? Because the type of men that I like now, I would have never dated when I was in my 20s or 30s. I mean, we
Yeah.
evolve and we change. So the fact that she said he wasn't my type at the beginning, there's sometimes people you don't like when you first meet them. But again, and I'll reiterate it, Professor, as you get to know them and talk about vital things, like, you know what? This guy, you know, may be okay. Like, I changed my standard with the height. You know, one of my homeboys told me one day, Grace, you know, you're so stuck on dating tall guys that you could be missing out on the best thing in your life because you disqualify them right away towards height. Right now, I'm in my point in my life where I like big guys. They keep me warm. They always got food. A lot
That's
of
what I'm
them know how
talking
to
about.
cook. We're always eating. We're gonna eat good. We both gonna eat. That's something that has changed because I go for, and come on, who doesn't really go for attraction first? We all do. We
Right, we
all
do.
do. But as we get older and we evolve, priorities change. I mean, I'll go as short as 5'9". That's it. I mean, I went from 6'2" to 5'9". I think that's fair.
Well, how tall are
You
you?
know,
Good gracious, you can't date a 5'9" dude. What's going on here?
I'm 5 feet. Okay,
So you want
I'm
to know if he's
5 feet.
5'9" or 6'12"? You don't know the difference. Come on now.
Wow.
Come on now. It's, you know, it's why you need a big tall man for? What's that about?
Makes me feel safe.
Okay.
You know, it makes me feel protected and get warm. Because, you know, you can keep you warm at night. You know, you gotta be, you know, you gotta have some meat on your bones for me. You gotta have some meat. You know,
Yeah,
the bones is for the dog, the meat is for the woman. You know, you gotta have some meat on your bones. I like it, and a lot of them enjoy eating, cooking, and don't mind doing that for you, which I do, vice versa. But again, the whole point is that we evolve. Did you like this woman you like nowadays, Professor? Are they the same woman you like when you were in your 20s?
goddamn right. I've always liked non-black. I'm joking. No, I mean it's. I've always liked women. I, has it changed? Uh,
Has your taste
oh,
changed in women as you gotten older?
yeah, I don't like older women no more. I do. No, I mean, so if they're over 45, I like them. If they're under 45, I don't want nothing to do with it. So like 35, 36 to 45, I want nothing to do with them.
Why?
45 and up, because man, them people, yeah, I can't deal with that.
Uh,
It's so what I find nowadays is actually pretty weird, is that I find a lot of women, especially in the black culture, either they come with a bunch of tattoos or they come with kids. And I don't like neither one of that. And so, and then when they get that 35-year-old, they get to that point where, I'm making a certain amount of money. I need a dude to make this amount of money, or I don't want to do this. I'm traditional. And like, how are you traditional? You didn't suck with half the Miami Dolphins. So how are you traditional? It's just they come with a bunch of baggage and a bunch of uh relationship trauma that they haven't worked on, and that's more the issue I have. And then they come with things that just doesn't make sense. So 35 to 45, I don't like dealing with those women for the most part. I like the 28 to 34, 28 to 35 year olds. I don't really go I like, or 45 plus, because the 45 plus, they know what a warm towel means. They know that they'll bring you the warm towel. The
the
28-year olds, you
aftercare.
can after the aftercare. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You know, the 28-year-olds, you can teach them how to bring the warm towel. I mean, I have a towel warmer in my house. So I say, let's just go get a towel from out of there, baby. You good. So you teach them, there's some things they don't understand, they don't know. And I have no problem. I'm a natural born teacher. I can do that. That's why I have the professor moniker. The 45 years don't have to. The 35 to 45, it's like teaching the old dog new tricks. They don't want to do nothing. They don't want to try nothing. They don't want to, they're stuck in their ways. And then if you get with them and you just say you marry them, then they want to have kids like tomorrow. Like, can we enjoy each other for a couple of days? And then have kids. 45, I know kids out the window, so we can just be balls to the wall, have all the good times. have all the fun we can have, right? Just be hitting it on the balcony with the window, I got floor ceiling windows, ceiling be wide open. You know, just have some fun. You know, when I was 26, I was dating a 45-year-old. We just had a lot of good times, good fun. We cuddled from time to time. You know, we chilled. We had a great time, and I've tried to not recreate that, but try to find it in someone else because she's ruined it for everyone else. And I can't. I have a hard time finding it. I did find someone similar to that. I messed that one up, so I'll give myself that one. But a lot of these ladies out here, 35 to 45, leave them alone. Leave them alone. Leave them for Bow Wow. Let Bow Wow have them.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't
Wow.
want nothing to do with them. Yeah. You can have them.
See, what I'm learning is because, you know, and I'm not ashamed to say my age. I'm 50. I just turned 50. So I kind of realized, man, I got to go older now, you know, because I can't. These young cats, you know, I want a commitment. But some of these older men, they're stuck in their ways and they've been married for years and they're so used to doing things and they got to be home by 10:30. They got to take their medication and, you know, they need more recovery time. And I get it. I'm learning this. And it's, you know, we stop 4 or 5 times in a 2-hour time period because they got to use the restroom more often than not. It's like, okay, I get it because everybody changes, things happen, but it's a lot of work because I mean, I was dating a gentleman and I had to cut him loose because like, look, I'm too old to mold. You know, if you can't get the basics down, what happens when I give you the keys to the rocket ship? How you gonna navigate that? So I mean, and I don't mean to be sounding so like I'm not that picky, but there's just certain things that should just already be there at a certain age. And I don't have, I say, I want to be led. I want to learn new things. I already raised a son. I'm not trying to raise somebody else's son. You know, that should have been done already.
No, you're exactly right. They need to, you know, pay the lunch. They need your job, and I hit it from one time. Your job is not to raise have a third child or a second child. It's your job. Your job is not to raise a man. The man should already be the man when you meet him. And if you got to do all this raising and all this hand holding, then you need to keep it pushing. These dudes need to get their life together and get a subscription to some blue pills because I ain't got no sponsorship, so I can't give no people out. But get some blue pills.
I know that's right. And so now what I do is I'm willing to date 10 years younger, which is 40, or 10 years older, which is 60. So that's you know, that's the range. I will not go with 30. I don't date men that don't have kids because I'm not for you're wasting my time and your time. I don't date men that have kids under 11. I've already been stepmom. I've already raised 3 boys that weren't mine. I've been there, done that. It's time for me to, like you said, let's enjoy each other. Let's travel. Let's go I have a kid. He's 18. He's in college. I'm an empty nester already. And I only have one. Yep. I have no ex-husband drama. I'm good. Yep. I can pick up and leave. I got a passport. I'm good. Yep. Let's go.
Let's get
Tell my son, hey, I'll be gone for 2 weeks. Here's some money. I'll holler.
That's what I'm trying to do because I got a 20-year-old and I don't know if I want to start over again. I haven't decided yet. I go back and forth, but a woman tells me she doesn't want kids, I automatically drop her off. But I'm like, I've had women tell me, yeah, I got 2 kids or I got 1 kid, but I don't want any more. All right, well, see you later. First of all, I don't want you because you got a kid. But anyway, if you do have a kid, cool. But you telling me at 30 years old you don't want any more kids? I don't want nothing to do with you. What do I need you for? I'm not gonna spend my resources on your kid and not get nothing out the deal. This is a whole bad deal all the way around. So that's why I say a lot of women either come with a bunch of kids or tattoos. I'm like, bro, I don't deal with all these neck and arm and sleeves. No, I can't deal with all them tattoos. Tattoos is cool, but I can't deal with it. And so I don't even mess with these young ladies. So I gotta get. I may have to go younger. I may have to go back to 25 or 24 or something. I might have to go to UNC Charlotte and hang out on campus for a little bit and deal with the TikTok dances or something. And because all these kids they learn everything off of TikTok. So I guess I need to get a TikTok subscription.
Well, you can hang out at a college graduation with a pack of Hubble Bubble. You
right.
with a pack of Hubble Bubble and a cooking book and a cookbook. You know and.
Hey, I'm like, listen, ladies.
Because I like to eat. You're going to have to cook. So that's what you're gonna have to do. Me, I just get to, you can tell right away. Like another red flag with me with this gentleman was, it's not like he didn't have the money, but his phone will always get cut off every month. So right there, you're telling me you're bad with your finances. I mean,
Right.
come on. You know, you're in your 50s. Come on.
Well,
Again, it's not like he didn't have the money. He would forget to pay his bill. So what are you gonna do? You gonna tell me you forgot to pay the mortgage?
yep.
I mean, it's just, so these are things that I saw in the 90-day probationary period, and he just didn't make it. Didn't make it. And I really
Yep.
tried. I really tried, but just didn't
Can't
make
make
it.
And it's funny because you talk about a cookbook, so I'll make sure to have a subscription to Cooking with Kaya. Cooking with Kaya.
Ooh.
Well, Kaya, if you want to come this way, shorty swing my way. I know it's before your time. I get it. Not your time, but Kaya's time. She ain't never heard that before. But no, I mean, you know, if Kaya want to come this way, she definitely can. But you like I said, I go to graduations with hard dick and bubble gum, and I'm fresh out of bubble gum. So yeah. So I mean. So we'll see what happens. But no, I just know I can't date girls the same age as my daughter. So every year she gets older, I got to go a year older as well. So she'll be 21 next year. So I got to start dating 22-year-olds. But I tried that before. That didn't work too well either because I don't know nothing about TikTok. So.
And another thing, Professor, my son is 6'4". So how do I look dating somebody that's 5'6"? What is my son going to do? Tap him on the head?
Well, you know, I met a lady yesterday, right? Her dad played in her dad played in the NFL for quite some time. He's a quarterback. He's 6'4". She's dating a guy that's 6'7". So I mean, it'd be the same situation. He just like, "How you doing, sir?" And like, you know, I mean, he don't have the money that guy has, you know. But at the end of the day, he's 6'7", so the dad has to look up at him at all times. So even if your son has to look up, you know, look down at his stepdaddy or you know his uncle, then then it is what it is. You know, what up, Uncle Clifford?
My son be like, "Mom, really?" I mean, his dad is 6'9", you know, and he came out. He caught the tall gene. He's 6'4", and I'm only 5 feet. So I did well. I did well for him, you know.
I bet you did do well for him. He didn't have them. I ain't gonna go there. But anyway, that must have been
let me tell you, his belly button was to my forehead. Okay, I already know what you were thinking.
So you know, if his belly button at the forehead, you already know.
Oh Lord.
Right, exactly.
Shout out to Izzy.
Right. Oh Lord. Oh man, I gotta get the bishop on here. Get that clip on here. Oh man, we're having fun. So I know we want to switch over. I'm gonna switch over to a clutch my pearls type topic. I know this is something you wanted to talk about, so I'm gonna let you sort of lead this one. I'm gonna play this clip and let you talk about it. I know you want to talk about this, and it's something out there that's serious right now. Let me pull it up real quick, and I got about 3 or 4 videos I'm gonna play. So we'll play the first one, and we'll talk about it, and then we'll go from there. Let me see. But this is a clutch my pearls moment. If you guys haven't seen this, this is something has been out.
Daniel Penny, the former Marine charged in the chokehold death of Jordan Neely on a New York City subway last year, was found not guilty of criminally negligent homicide by a Manhattan jury on Monday. This comes after a judge dismissed a more serious second-degree manslaughter charge last week after the jury could not come to a verdict on the count. They were hung. Gloria Pazmino, tell us the latest.
So I'll stop it there. I know I don't like the Crazy News Network, but that's where I got this one from. So we talk about Daniel Penny. If you guys don't know, he was a Marine that put a chokehold on the guy in the subway, and that guy ended up passing away. And I know it's a lot of backlash going on. Matter of fact, I'll play the second video to this before we get started. This is the family talking about it.
We're devastated, upset, angry, hurt. Over and over again, we keep coming to the system, asking the system to let us know that our lives have value. Jordan Neely was choked to death by someone who didn't care. People was telling him to stop. Last week, the jury they couldn't decide on the top charge, but they come back this week and they give up on us.
I just want to say, I miss my son. My son didn't have to go through this. I didn't have to go through this either. It hurts. Really, really hurts. What are we going to do, people? What's going to happen to us now? I had enough of this. System is rigged.
And when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, because thou givest him not warning, nor speaketh to warn the wicked of his wicked ways, his blood shall I require at thy hand.
I promised this family that we would get justice. We're still going to do that. We're going to move forward with our suit. The district attorney did a good job, but the jury in this case let us down.
I'm sorry to Dre. I'm sorry to Chris. I'm sorry that America has failed you. You've come here, you've shown discipline, you've shown strength, you've shown love, you've shown how to carry yourself with composure when you're facing this machine, this American judicial system that cannibalizes our people. There is no love for Black people. There is no love in the system. How can you make a moral appeal to a people that have no moral code?
So what did you think about that? What do you think about that? Those videos, or what do you think about the situation as a whole?
Well, I think that it's a sad situation that somebody was unalived. Let me put that out there. I am not happy about the fact that a man lost his life.
Right.
However, my gripe is that where is all this outrage and energy when other Black people die on the hands of Black people? It should be all lives matter. You know, you got a mother that just got life in jail for cooking her 2 babies in the oven. We didn't hear about that. We got remember the mother that drowned her kids in the tub. Where was the outrage to that? Where is the outrage to all the killings on Chicago and South Side and the Black on Black crime? Again, I'm not saying that this was right. However, this could have been prevented. The man was arrested 42 times in a 7-year period. He was on the top list of mental situation. He was threatening to kill people in the subway. And if you're not from New York and you ain't ever rid the subway system, then you don't know. You don't know what happens. You're in a metal capsule in a controlled environment, and he's threatening to kill people. So if nobody did anything, then you would have heard a gripe, well, somebody should have done something. Then somebody did something. Did they go too far with it? Absolutely. However, this is what's going to cause people not to do anything. And this is one of the biggest times when we all need to unite, because I don't know if you guys know this, while they're distracting us with Diddy and now Jay-Z, Biden administration just passed a law where if Americans go against the government is allowed to shoot and kill Americans. So this is a time when we all need to unite. Black, white, polka dot, purple, Martian, alien, whatever the case may be. My thing is that where is the outrage when the melanated community is killing the melanated community? If there was a cop on Fox News, a Black cop, that said if this was a Black man that killed another Black man, I wouldn't be here talking about this. We wouldn't be in such outrage. But again, it's always about race. Is it a fucked up situation? Have the melanated community been through a lot? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I want that. What I'm just saying is I need that same energy and that same outrage when melanated kills melanated. Where is that? Where is that outrage? Why is it that and then they're enticing riots that we should go burn down the community? Is that a way to fix the problem? Or is it should be through legislation? Should it be through voting in our local, federal, and state elections? because that's the only way we can make change. But causing riots and enticing riots and burning down neighborhoods, is that going to solve the problem? No, it's just going to add more fuel to the fire. Again, because a lot of people consider me non-black, and I shouldn't be talking about issues that because I'm non-black. But again, I'm in that community, because if they was to make martial law and they make two lines, one for them and one for us, what line do you think they're gonna put me on, Professor? Which line? What side you think they're gonna put me on?
Well, you date black dude. So I know you got more than one drop in you. So you coming on our side.
But tell me how you feel as a black man. As a black man, that you walk around, you could get pulled over and for no reason. I had to teach my son how to conduct himself when he got pulled over by the police. I've been followed in the store. I've been pulled over for no reason, just driving while driving a nice car. I haven't gone through it in the severity of an African American woman or man, but I've been through it. Both ends, black side and the white side. When you're biracial, you get it on bi, But how do you feel about this situation? Because I'm curious. Should he have not done nothing and allowed some? I get it. He didn't put his hands on nobody yet. He shouldn't have touched the man. But what should have happened that day? Should he have waited for somebody to get hurt?
So I'm a bury the lead kind of. I got some other videos I'm gonna show, but I don't.
Okay.
I don't feel any particular way about it. I do when you say, where's the outrage for black on black crime? I've said that for years. Like we only get outraged when it's a non-black person who kills our people, or we only feel a certain way if or we only want the cops involved if it's our son or daughter that gets taken out. It shouldn't be that way. Like murder is murder. You killing people is killing people, and none of it's right. I don't care if it's a cop killing a person.
I agree.
I don't care if it's a Marine killing a person. I don't care. We shouldn't be killing people, period. Now, what happened in that situation? None of us was there. Neither one of us was there. We don't know exactly what took place. We have body cam. We have other things. I'll play some videos to show that. But I don't think what he did was incorrect. The dude was considered a direct threat to the people on the train, and the guy did his best to save him. The guy passed away, unfortunately. Now there's some things around that I'm gonna show in a second. But there's some things around that show something a little different. And this is not a Sion Massey case. This is not an Eric Garner case. This is not those cases. This is a completely different case. And as a black man walking around, I do feel a certain type of way. I don't have any ill will or malice toward police. I've actually had very positive interactions with police officers. I've been mistaken. I've been put in handcuffs because I was mistaken. And I heard the guy put me in handcuffs, and he was like, when I heard the description of what he had heard, he said, they said a guy between 5'10" and 6'2", with, at the time I had a mini afro. He said with a mini afro and wearing all blue. I had fit the description to a T. And then when they called it back, he said no, with blue jeans and a white shirt. He said, oh, okay, you see why? I said, yeah, I see why. I didn't have any ill will with him. I've had very positive conversations with cops, both black men. This is a black man that did it. White cops, the whole nine. So, I've been to, and I'll say this, I don't care. Y'all can, send me a letter. The reason why I do not go to Texas Roadhouse to this day is because when I was out to dinner up in Massachusetts, they didn't serve me and my girlfriend. My girlfriend at the time was white. They didn't serve us. The manager came out, gave us all types of excuses, end up giving us a pass for free meals. Said, I'll comp me. I said, no, we're good. But this happened in 2006 or 7. I have yet to step Roadhouse ever. And that was one that used to be across the street. I love steak, but I would go everywhere else besides Texas Roadhouse because of that incident. So that's how I feel about certain things. I didn't get served. I had an Asian restaurant in the mall up in Massachusetts. They were like, hey, we're closed, but didn't serve the white person behind me. So I've had these type of situations happen. I've had a cop pull me over and said I ran a stop sign. I said, sir, I saw you at the stop sign. Why would I run it and I saw you? He said, your wheels never stop moving. It is what it is. I expect it. But I also understand from a cop's perspective, especially at night, what their life is at hand. I had a friend of mine whose husband was shot and cannot work now because of nerve damage. So I respect cops, but at the end of the day, if it's dark outside, I make sure my lights are on, I make sure all my windows are down, so that he can see. I make sure my hands are on the steering wheel. Why? Because I know it's a dangerous situation for him. We've seen videos of cops getting shot or cops getting run over, so I know it's a dangerous situation approaching a car. So I try to be the utmost respectful to them. Like I'm, it's their job. I respect them at their job. I do what they ask me. I mean, I'll comply to what they ask me to do. I teach. I speak to them with respect. I think that's just what you should do. And so at the end of the day, that's how I treat cops. That's why I probably have never had any negative interactions with them. But this situation in itself, it's unfortunate. Someone lost their life, but there's things that happen, man. And would this have happened had he not been going through the things he was going through? And did he get proper treatment for his mental condition?
Exactly. Let's fix that. I'm a big believer of preventive measures. This could have been prevented. Instead of fighting of a so-called rigged system, let's fix it. The awareness. I mean, when you're saying that I don't care if I die today and somebody's going to die today, so we're supposed to just say, and the people that were around in the subway feared for their lives. They said they were glad that somebody stepped up and did something. And then a lot of women wonder why men don't protect them as they should, because they don't want something like this to happen, or they're going to have to go to jail, or they have their own family to go home to. Why are they going to put their lives on the line for somebody they don't know? So next time when that happens in the subway, nobody's going to do nothing. And if somebody dies, then you'll hear, well, why didn't somebody do something? I mean, it's a very tough situation. And I hate the fact that he had to pass away. And I actually spoke to somebody, he's a Marine, and I actually spoke to him today. He was like, yeah, but he didn't have to choke him out. You know that a person needs to breathe. He choked him out for 10 minutes. But it wasn't only him. There was a Hispanic man on him too, and a black man. It wasn't just the white guy. But he was the one that got arrested. He was the one that had to go through this, his reputation. And I saw an interview on Fox that said, I couldn't have lived with myself if I didn't do something that day. I couldn't have lived with myself if I knew somebody got hurt that day, knowing that I could have done something. Yeah, it went too far. But then again, he's a Marine. They're trained. It's not an excuse. And I know people are going to turn around and run with this and go make clips on me about this. But at the end of the day, take that energy and that frustration and really take care of Black Lives Matter. And then look who the founders of what they did. You know, they're buying mansions, but they're not really trying to fix the problem. That's my beef, Professor, that we need to emphasize more of what's going on than who's doing what's doing. Because at the end of the day, if somebody else would have died that day, then they would have said, well, why didn't somebody do something?
Yeah, and I know allegedly George Soros is behind all of that, and there's a lot of things that go into this. Here's the thing, though. If we go back, you're from New York. If we go back to September 11th, 2001, we all know that unfaithful day that happened. The U.S. knew about certain things prior to that, months before that. Had they went out and took out the people that hijacked planes before they hijacked planes, will we have this same backlash? If we said, hey, they were going to take out these planes because they said they were going to do this, this, and this. No, we wouldn't have an issue with that. So if a dude's on a train talking about I'm gonna kill this, I don't care about nothing, I don't care if I die or you die, whatever it is, I go back. That's an issue. That I mean, if your son, if your wife was on that train with your 6-year-old daughter or son, what would you have done in that situation? Would you just sit there and let him keep talking and let him attack let him actually show what he's gonna do before he does it? No, you don't need to wait. You need to be proactive. And yes, he held him in a chokehold for 6 minutes, but like you said, there was a Latino man and there was a black man. The black man helped. And I'm going to show this video real quick of an interview. And there's another thing I want to show and see what other people had to say about this. And this is coming from a black guy, but give me one moment. I'm going to pull that up.
Absolutely.
I think it's a different perspective that's being brought. And I think it's one similar to what we're saying here.
Here in the studio to discuss this case, State Representative and Attorney Jolanda Jones and retired Judge Mike Fields. Glad to have you both here on the Factor.
And again, that's a retired judge, guys. On the left-hand side, the man is a retired judge.
Uncensored. Judge Fields, first of all, your thoughts about this?
I think that there was a racial component to the charges. And quite frankly, I think that Mr. Penny was charged because he's white. There were two other men helping to hold this gentleman down, Mr. Neely. One was African-American and the other was Latino.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until the African-American man grabbed that gentleman's arms, crossed him across his chest, and then kneeled on his head that he died.
Was that part of Penny's defense at all in the case?
I don't know if it was part of Penny's defense, but it would have been, I think, if I were handling the case, something that I would bring up. For 6 minutes, and other people on that train, black people, brown people, said that Penny did the right thing the right way, didn't hold him too tight, just took him.
And I want to stop it real quick. I'm going to continue, but you look, the black guy did get on his head, while Penny was holding him. So I don't know why he needed to do that, but could that have led to him passing away? I'm going to continue the video. Give me 1 second.
Down to keep him from hurting others. And this is a man who has more than 36 arrests and was threatening to kill people and saying that he didn't care because he wanted to go back to prison.
Do we think this was so close to George Floyd that people had that image in their mind and decided, okay, this is black versus white?
I think that you can conflate issues easily if you're looking to blame race on everything.
Mm-hmm.
This was not that, in my opinion. Just looking at the video, looking at the statements of the witnesses after this happened, it was clear. There was an elderly black woman who said, that man did the right thing, talking about Penny. There was a younger black man who said he didn't do anything wrong. When the folks called the cops, none of them said, please just send the white ones, just send the black ones, just send the brown ones. They just said, send the cops.
Mm-hmm.
Because this man is threatening violence. And as the woman who was in that video, and I sent it to both of you, said, he scared us to death.
Yeah.
Talking
All
about
right.
Neely, he scared us to death.
Let's bring in Attorney and State Representative Jolanda Jones. Your thoughts about this verdict?
So I think it's very difficult, right? You have a guy who's in the throes of mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
He's schizophrenic. I'm a criminal defense lawyer. I see people with schizophrenia.
But the average person who encounters him wouldn't know that.
Right.
He would just be scary to them.
Right. And even exactly. And so how do you know if someone is like truly violent? All those schizophrenics can be violent.
Mm-hmm.
They can. When I go to court sometimes and I have a client who has schizophrenia, I don't know who's going to show up, like someone who's going to help me defend them and tell me what's going on or think I'm the enemy. So I think it was a difficult position to be in. I think that families of people who suffer from mental illness, it's sometimes difficult because you only see the person when they're not in the throes of mental illness. And some people with schizophrenia, they hear voices tell them to do things. Now, I did not hear where he said he was going to kill people. I heard him say he wasn't scared to go to jail. I heard that. But again, you're on a busy subway, you're confined in a place, someone is belligerent. I don't know if he needed to hold him for 6 minutes. It's my understanding that he was not moving for a long time. And I would respectfully submit to you that if he was a Marine and he knew about combat, that he would know better how to subdue somebody and leave them. So I think there's a lot going on, but the jury spoke. It is what it is. It's a difficult situation, but I certainly understand why he may have done it. And perhaps mental health experts should have come, but mental illness is just very, very, very difficult.
All right. We want to thank.
All right. What do you think about that?
I mean, I agree. If this was a black man that choked him out, we wouldn't even be talking about this right now. We really wouldn't have. But we want to always put the race thing in, and it shouldn't be. I just want the same energy and the same beef, because we're hurting each other. We're so worried about them hurting us, but we're hurting each other the most. And we don't talk about that. I mean, I am a big fan of watching Fatal Attraction, Blue Bloods, criminal shows, First 48. And what do you mostly see? Us.
Black folk.
Latinos on black on Latinos. You don't really see a lot of them killing off each other. Where is that's all I'm saying. Where is the outrage then? We're already killing each other with 23 million deletions, since the 70s. And that's all pre-planned. Okay. That's not what is it? Reproductive rights. That's a plan that they instilled to whitewash the race. But we're too busy being feminists and screaming my body, my choice when we've had 23 million deletions in the melanated community.
Yep.
And we're rapping and bragging when we're going to the chop chop. Where's the outrage to that? You see what I'm saying? We got our priorities. We're so busy to point fingers at them when we got 3 fingers pointing at us. Let's fix us first. And when I say us, I'm talking about the melanated community. And yes, I am part of the melanated community because I do have, I'm melanated, people. I don't have blue eyes and blonde hair. Okay. Yes, I'm of Italian descent and Dominican descent, but anybody that knows their history knows that Dominicans are from African descent. But we're not here to give I know black.
We no negro.
Yeah, you are. I remember when I took my ex-husband to DR, I took him to DR and he stepped off the plane and he looked around. He's like, well, damn, y'all are ninjas just like us.
No, they were playing Kendrick Lamar before Kendrick Lamar. They not like us.
And it's like, come on. It's just that's all I want. I mean, 5% run 95%. Can you imagine if we just got up from the table? You know how we flip a table when we playing spades and we get mad? Yep. Imagine if we do that and we unite. And I love, I got a lot of white friends. I got white family and I love everybody, but we got to stop pointing fingers and we got to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. We're so quick to blame others. And I'm tired of it.
Yeah, that goes back to us not wanting to take the blame, not taking accountability for the things that we do. Want to blame someone else. I've had discussions like this. I've had someone say, "Don't you feel a certain type of way because you're black and you got to go through this world?" Like, no. Listen, if you know the situations that surround you, you can say, "This is why I can't do anything with myself," or "This is why I can." Despite the situations, because you think those people who were enslaved in the United States as well as in the Caribbean were like, well, it's my surroundings, and we never gonna get our freedom. We can't have any.
Right. Whatever.
We can't rise up against massa. No, they had slave rebellions. They were like, no, I ain't about this life. I mean, I forgot what ship was. The whole ship that was coming over jumped overboard because they said we'd rather be dead than slaves. So at the end of the day, like, you can't keep blaming everybody else for things that go on in your life. You can't keep blaming everything. You got to take accountability. If you get pregnant, take accountability. You can't go out and get rid of it. The baby had nothing to do with it. If you're worried about if you're so concerned about my body, my choice, then make better choices with your body. You don't have to worry about my body, my choice.
Ooh, they don't want to hear that though. They don't want to hear that.
They don't want to hear. They want to use certain situations about this, that, and the other. Well, what about this? What about that? It's 3% situations for all the other stuff. 97% of those deletions come from people who just don't want those kids. So yeah, go ahead.
I just don't like the cherry picking.
Right.
We want to pick things and we want to either we're going to go in all in or not at all.
Right.
I've been pulled over. My truck was searched. I'll never forget. Well, we believe that you have drugs in the car. And I said, but why? Why do you believe that? And he pulled me to the side because I was with my homegirl. She was having her own issues with the cop because she had medications not matching the bottles. So she was having her own issues. Oh, but he pulled me I noticed that he pulled me to the side because he was white and he didn't want her to hear. I said, no, you could talk right here. He was like, well, what do you think we followed you all the way from 6th Street. You come to a neighborhood that's known for drugs. You pull up in a back alley White dude comes in a white shirt to your window and you talk for 2-3 minutes and you pull off. So yeah, that led us to believe that you have drugs in the car. And I said, you know, all that was, I was pulling up to my homeboys asking him what time we're going to meet up at the club. Was he at a trap house? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But you can't assume. You cannot assume. Why? Because I'm driving an Eddie Bauer Expedition? You think I got drugs? I went to go buy I went to buy drugs? I said, go ahead, search it. Search it. And you're gonna look stupid. And they didn't find anything and they had to let me go. But I felt so violated. You just judged me. It didn't look good. I get it. But at the end of the day, give me a chance. Ask me if there's drugs in the car. You didn't. You just boom. Put the dogs on, put everything. I'm sitting on the curb and I'm literally in the law enforcement. I'm going to school for criminal justice. Okay.
Right.
And that was the night I decided I quit the criminal justice program.
Oh, wow.
Because I was too torn. I wasn't going to go around doing and training for something and making people feel the way I felt. So that's how I felt. I can only imagine how my Black counterparts feel every day. The fact that I told my son, no, we're going to keep the registration and the insurance on the visor versus the console because I don't want you to make sudden movements. I need you to keep your hands on the steering wheel 10 and 2 o'clock and be polite. Yes, sir. No, ma'am. You can't come with an attitude because cops are a figure of authority. And I get it. A lot of cops have made it look bad. A lot of rotten apples have ruined it for a lot of good cops. Yes, I get it. But there's a lot of dumb shit that we do.
Yep.
You riding around with 10 pounds of weed and you speeding and smoking and swerving. I mean, again, you didn't take preventive measures. You put the white girl in a rental car to move your stuff. That is like the most typical decoy. I mean, come on. Come on.
Well, I ain't gonna tell people how to push it, but if you ever watch Cocaine Cowboys, they tell you how to do it. But now I tell you how to do it. They said just like this. Oh, well, I'm gonna get in trouble for this, but whatever. They said, listen, what we used to do back in the day in Miami, this is the Cocaine Cowboys show. They said, we used to we owned tow companies, and we used to put the work in the car, and the tow truck would take it. And every now and again, a tow truck get pulled over, and the car gets taken. He said, but the tow truck driver doesn't know what's in the car. They just hit a tow. They just hit a tow to work, and they would tow the car that had the work in it, and they would pick up a car that had the money in it. And that's how they got away with certain things for quite some time. Or they had the cops put it in the back of their car. That was Miami, though. This is back in the 80s. Miami is the city that Coke built. But so I ain't gonna tell you how to move your product. I mean, it's probably a little different these days. The FBI is a lot better. But I know in the 80s, that's how they do it. Matter of fact, you can ask JC, because JC said he used to move that work. I'm just saying. What you want me to do? Anyway, so before I'm gonna play this last part because people say that this was certain things weren't said, but I want to play some of the eyewitnesses that was there because I want to see what they had to say about what was going on, and then we can go from there.
I can tell you what happened. Yeah, what happened? He was there, right? I was in before him. Then he came in, like he put like his hand so he could come in, right? Okay. I guess he was pissed or something, but I looked at him, right? And then he started taking off his sweater, dummy hard, and then he threw it. And then he told like everyone that he had like a rough day and that he don't care what happens today. He don't care about going to jail, but that someone's dying today. Bro, hold on. You can come to me.
Is that a fight at all? No, he came on the train. I was sitting right there. I was sitting next to everybody that was moving. That was the last one I was sitting. He came on the train. He was like, yo, I'm looking for food. I'm looking for this shit. But like, he was ready to risk it all. Basically, he was like basically, he's going to tell the people about to hurt somebody. He was down on the floor. He's like, I'm ready to hurt somebody. I'm ready to do this. And he was right here. Like I said, I don't think he's nothing wrong. Everybody moved, and he was about to start him. He came in and he tried to do this while the cop was coming. They took mad. Everybody was. I was falling out home. Yeah. They took mad on the cop. He was trying to resist him on somebody's game. They took mad on. Okay. He got on the train. He was ready to like. I see him take like he got on the train. He dropped his phone. He's like, I'm ready to hurt anybody. I'm hungry. I'm ready to go back to $100. And dude got up. He saw he was about to hurt somebody, and he got up and he was trained. And he was trying to play. I don't know. You saw everything on everything. Absolutely. No, you saw everything. Okay. Absolutely. Right here.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you see?
What did I see? I was sitting up there. I heard the young man that's on the floor saying, hey, I'm willing to die. I'll do anything. I'll go to jail. I don't care. And he was saying it so loud that everyone turned around. So the young man, he got belligerent and he tackled him down.
Oh.
He was tackled in the brown jacket, the one that just went past.
The guy in the brown jacket.
Yeah, you got the brown jacket. Yeah.
You got a freak. You got a brown jacket.
I mean that there were, so those are witnesses that were on the train with that guy. So you saw two black people, an elderly black lady and a middle-aged black man and a Hispanic woman. So you heard what they had to say. So the reason why I bring that up because people saying, well, he didn't say this, he didn't say that. These are people on the train. We weren't there. Other people who have something to say wasn't there. They were. And they said he's willing to die. He's going to hurt somebody. These are things that he said on the train. He got up throwing his jacket. So these are eyewitnesses that are saying who are on the train with him. So I hate when people say, well, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. No, this is because I think they said it in the clip with the father and the BLM guy. But no, I mean, he was a threat to society at the time, and the guy restrained him. And I've been restraint trained. I know what restraints look like. The other guy, and someone said, no, he wasn't moving. Well, the guy was moving. Put it this way, if he wasn't moving, the guy wouldn't have known because the black guy is sitting there playing with his arms, trying to cross his arms and everything else. So I wouldn't know he's resisting. I'm holding the guy, and the guy is moving. But if he's moving because the black guy's moving him, then I have no idea. But at the end of the day, the dude, I think the guy Daniel, I think his name Daniel, who got arrested and went to trial. I think he did the right thing still to this day. I'm glad you brought this up because it's the first time really looking at it. But I don't think he did anything wrong. He's Marine trained. That is what it is. So he's going to automatically react to certain things and do certain things. But if the guy is trying to fight the restraint, I don't have anything negative to say about what he did. I'm glad he got acquitted.
And so am I. But let me make sure I put this disclaimer because they're gonna put a spin on it.
Oh, I already know.
I hate the fact that somebody was unalived. Nobody deserved to be unalived. But he did come at people. He did present an imminent danger. Right. If I was on that train and I was carrying my piece, he would have met his maker. Because I'm not gonna wait for him to make a move.
Right.
I talked to my friend this morning. He's in the military. He's like, yeah, you can talk all you want and say all you want, but until you touch me, that's when it becomes a problem. What if it was too late and you touched me with a knife or you touched me with a punch? I mean, when is it that you can do something? So you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. And you and I wouldn't be even having this conversation right now if it was a black Marine that subdued him. It would be all under wraps.
Right.
But because Daniel is white and it was an African-American man that got unalived is an issue. Well, I want it to be an issue all across the board. I want it to be an issue where a mother thinks it's okay to cook her two babies in the oven. Did you even hear about that story? Did that get national news? Where's the outrage there?
Right.
And that's I'm trying people to see that perspective. I'm not making you choose or what's right or what's wrong, but just stop. We need to stop looking at just the trees in front of us and let's look at the whole forest.
Yeah. But here's the thing, and it's funny that you brought that. Not very funny. It's something you said, and the judge said it too. The white guy was the only one that got charged. What happened to the Latino and the black man that were there as well? They should have been charged with accessories or whatever it was, and had their day in court if that's what we were going to do with Daniel Perry. So at the end of the day, why did they not get charged? Where are their charges? Because they also did something. So you're right. And the judge said if the guy wasn't white, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. I mean, if the guy was black, if the guy that
Yeah,
unalived him
if
was
the
black,
guy,
we wouldn't
if
even
it
have this
was a
conversation.
black Marine, exactly, and that's all I'm trying to put out there. Okay, you know, because I got to be careful with my words because there's going to be we're going to get clipped. I'm going to get clipped. I'm going to get
You get
clipped.
chopped and screwed. Oh yeah.
So, but the thing is, at least I have the balls to say something.
Yeah.
I at least well, let's say nerve, because now they're gonna say I'm probably a man now if I said balls. You see what I'm saying?
She
At
moved to
least at least I have the nerve to put it out there. Let's get outraged all across the board, because you know what? I have a black son that walks around the streets, and he could have been on the subway in New York. And something could have happened to him that day. And I would shake the hand of Daniel Penny and say, thank you. Because not only did you protect my son, but you protected everyone on that train. And this is why men don't protect women anymore. They don't do it because they're scared of the repercussions.
Exactly. And again, you look at you had brown melanated people in that body cam footage, and none of them were outraged at what happened. As far as, oh man, a white man killed unalived a black man. No, they said he did. They were based on the same side he was. I made sure I didn't find any clips of white people. Those are melanated people that didn't have any issues with the white was like, I'm calling 911. He had to restrain him. Y'all was taking mad long to get here, so he had to do what he had to do. None of them were outraged. Is the fact that that is BLM's getting involved and everything else. There's nothing here other than this dude did with it. The biggest outrage, again, I've said it before, and you said it as well. The biggest outrage here is this young man that passed away, Jordan Neely, did not get the help he should have been getting and should have had. If he was in the system, if he was in prison or in jail on Rikers Island, why was he not getting psychiatric treatment there? Why was he not being put in some place where he can get the proper treatment? That's the biggest outrage. So if anyone wants to be outraged about what happened, be outraged that the system failed Jordan Neely, not Daniel Penny. The system didn't fail Daniel Penny or Jordan Neely because of Daniel Penny. The system failed Jordan Neely when they failed to properly treat this young man. And that was where the outrage should be lied. Again, we're both on the same page when we say we're upset that anyone's no longer living. I don't applaud anyone's passing. But what I have to go back and say, the biggest issue here, the biggest outrage should be put around the fact that this man did not get the treatment he should have received, so that this situation, this incident, would not have happened. Too many people talk about the situation and don't want to talk about the solution. The solution would have been, had this man gotten the help and been in therapy and got whatever medication, whatever he needed, this would not have taken place, and Daniel Penny would not have had to go through what he had to go through. And that's what we need to talk about. Mental health and making sure that we're getting our men, our black men, our melanated men are getting the proper medical help, therapy that they need, medications that they need, so that situations like this don't occur. That's what we need to be talking about. That's what BLM needs to be focusing. Unfortunately, this man has passed. Let's use his passing as a call and a cry and an advertisement for mental health and treatment for mental health, not that a white man unalived a black man, because that's not necessarily what took place.
And I agree with you. Let's look at the mental programs that's going on. Instead of sending money to Ukraine and other countries, let's take care of Americans first. But instead of Black Lives Matter organization becoming part of the solution, they're creating more problems by inciting what we should do and protest. I don't know if you saw this. Did you see the big Coca-Cola travel semi truck that had all those kids there for sex trafficking? Let's not. Why don't we boycott Coca-Cola? You see, we don't do. You hit people in the pockets. Let's boycott things that affect the melanated community and see how they'll like it. But no, we want to cause riots. We want to cause destroy our neighborhoods, our own neighborhoods. I'll never forget this, Professor. When Rodney King, I was living in the St. Petersburg Clearwater area, and I was working and we had to shut down. I was a store manager at McDonald's, and I had to shut down the store because they were coming to destroy the neighborhood McDonald's. I mean, are you serious? I mean, what was that going to fix? What was the solution to that? So now you don't have a McDonald's until it gets fixed. Go to their neighborhood and mess up their neighborhood if you want to really do something. But it's just like, I don't know. I think we have it ass backwards. We're, like you said, we're always worrying about the problems and not talking about solutions. And I think that the first solution is that we need to have that same outrage and feed that same energy into what's going on within our community, because they living their best life while we still fighting and trying to understand things that's going on. But with that said, I'm not going to go get too much into it because, supposedly I have no rights to be talking about topics like this. But you know what? This is America. It's a free country. And you can't stop me for saying what I think and feel. It is what it is.
I thought this was America, people.
Right? To embrace or not embrace.
Right. Well, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and end it here. We're going about an hour and a half, so I'm gonna head end it here. I definitely appreciate you for dropping by Embrace. You definitely provided different perspectives on different parts of the topics we talked about. I definitely appreciate that. Love to have you on here again. Love to have maybe we do this on a weekly basis. We'll see what happens there. I don't know.
Absolutely. You came with a good topic. You asked me if I wanted to talk about some. There's a lot of things I got in the chamber, but I have to tiptoe around shit because people's feelings get hurt easily. So, but I'm not gonna stop.
No, you shouldn't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. No Diddy. But no, you should do whatever you want. Like, at the end of the day, I've always felt like if you have a topic, see when your dogs bleed. If you have a topic, talk about it. Say about it. I don't care. So for me, I don't care what anybody has to say. I know my channel is still growing. I get it. I don't care. I don't care if I had 50 million subscribers or 5,000 subscribers. It doesn't matter to me. I want to say what I created my YouTube channel because I wanted to have a voice for myself. So whether my daughter looks at it or someone else looks at it, I don't care. I create the content for myself. I create the content for me so that I can say, you know what? At the end of the day, I left my mark on this earth, and so I can go back and find it at some later time. When I'm dead and buried, 500 years from now, they can pull up YouTube. I don't know if they still have YouTube. They can look at it. So at the end of the day, I don't care what anybody has to say. You know what? I love people who don't like what I have to say, because you know what? Bring me some topics. Let's have a conversation about it. Let's talk about it, because at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. I'm here to exercise my Second Amendment rights, and I'm glad YouTube provides that. I try to stay within their confines, but at the end of the day, speak what you want to say. Don't let nobody keep you from talking what you want to talk. Talk your shit.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and end it here real quick. Hey, I want to thank everyone for watching this video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. But with that being said, class is dismissed.
Peace.
Hey there, it's the Distinguished Professor. Click here to subscribe to the Distinguished Professor YouTube channel for hard-hitting panel discussion, the hottest reaction videos, and compelling analysis of current events you cannot find anywhere else. Remember, class is always in session. Stay sharp, stay informed, stay distinguished.
They call me the Distinguished Professor. Teach love lessons, major with successor.